Breaking news! Things are pretty hot behind the scenes for the Baltimore Ravens, and I have some very important topics to talk to you about, including Derrick Henry. But before I get started, make sure you've hit that like button if you believe the Ravens will be in Super Bowl 60. If possible, write something like this: Go Ravens! We're going to Super Bowl 60. Now I want to start by talking about him. Derrick Henry just sent shockwaves through Ravens Nation. Straight from the NFL Honors red carpet, Henry told Diana Rossini that he wants to retire as a Baltimore Raven. That's right, one of the most dominant running backs in NFL history is looking to finish his career in purple and black. After a roller coaster month filled with heartbreak over the Ravens' playoff loss and Lamar Jackson being snubbed at NFL Honors, this is the kind of exciting news fans needed. Henry's words weren't just a passing comment, this is a declaration that he sees his future in Baltimore. Let's break this down. First, this means the Ravens could have Henry for the next 2, 3, maybe even 5 years. And if you pair him with Lamar Jackson, that's a backfield that should terrify every defensive coordinator in the NFL. Last season, Henry put up monstrous numbers: 1,900 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, and 19 runs of 20-plus yards. And those were just his regular season stats. That level of production, combined with Lamar's dual-threat ability, gives Baltimore a legitimate shot at a title every year. Now, let's talk money, because this is where things get interesting. Henry is entering the final year of his contract, with a base salary of $6 million and a cap hit of nearly $13 million. A contract extension isn't just a possibility, it feels inevitable. A 2-year, $24 million extension would lower his 2025 cap hit to around $7.9 million, freeing up money for Baltimore to make other key moves. Right now, the Ravens have just $5.67 million in cap space, which isn't much compared to other teams. So restructuring Henry's deal makes perfect sense. And let's be honest, there's no real debate about whether Henry deserves an extension. Not only does he still have plenty of gas left in the tank at 31, but he also makes Lamar Jackson even better. Defenses can't afford to key in on just one guy anymore. If they focus too much on stopping Henry, Lamar will torch them with his legs or arm. If they try to contain Lamar, Henry will punish them up the middle. This kind of 1-2 punch is rare in the NFL, and it's why the Ravens' rushing attack looked completely different in 2024. Just look at the numbers. In 2023, Baltimore's entire running back room combined for 41 runs of 10 or more yards. In 2024, Henry alone had 45 such runs. That's more explosive plays from one guy than the entire backfield the year before. And as a team, Baltimore jumped to 89 total rushes of 10-plus yards, showing just how much Henry elevates the offense. The bottom line? Derrick Henry isn't just another running back, he's a game changer. He's the kind of player who makes a great offense even better. And if the Ravens want to keep competing at the highest level, they need to make sure he stays in Baltimore for the long haul. But what do you think, Ravens fans? Should the front office lock him up now, or do you have concerns about his long-term durability? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get the conversation going. And let's not forget, the Ravens' rushing attack has always been dangerous under Lamar Jackson, but adding Derrick Henry took it to a whole new level. This isn't just about stats, it's about the way defenses are forced to react. When Henry lines up in the backfield, defenses have to respect his ability to break off a game-changing run at any moment. That hesitation? That split second of uncertainty? That's all Lamar Jackson needs to exploit a weakness and take off for a big gain himself. Now, imagine this duo staying together for the next few seasons. The AFC is loaded with powerhouse teams, and every contender is looking for an edge. For Baltimore, the key is maintaining this elite rushing attack while continuing to develop the passing game. The Ravens already made big strides in the air this past season, with Lamar proving he's more than just a runner. But keeping Henry means defenses won't be able to sell out against the pass, which will only help Lamar keep evolving as a pocket passer. But here's the real question. Does Henry still have enough left in the tank for a multi-year deal? Some skeptics might point to his age. 31 is typically when running backs start to decline. But Henry isn't just any running back. This is a guy who takes care of his body at an elite level. His training regimen is legendary, and he's shown no signs of slowing down. In fact, he just became the oldest running back in NFL history to rush for 1,800 yards in a season. That's unheard of. And let's be real, if there's one guy who can continue defying the odds, it's Derrick Henry. And speaking of longevity, it's worth noting how the role of running backs has changed in today's NFL. Teams don't grind them into the ground like they used to. Workloads are more balanced, and guys who take care of their bodies the way Henry does can extend their careers longer than ever. If the Ravens manage his touches wisely, there's no reason he can't stay productive for several more years. So, what's next? All signs point to an extension happening soon. It just makes too much sense. Not only would it lower his cap hit for 2025, but it would also give Baltimore stability at a key position. Right now, the Ravens don't have a ton of money to spend in free agency. Extending Henry could free up cap space to bring in additional talent, maybe another playmaker for the offense or a key piece on defense. Let's set the stage for 2025. Imagine a fully healthy Ravens squad, with Henry and Lamar leading the charge, Zay Flowers taking the next step as a star receiver, and the defense continuing to dominate. This team isn't just built to win now, they're built to contend for years to come. But keeping Henry in Baltimore is a crucial part of that equation. So, Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. Should the front office get this deal done immediately? Are you confident Henry can continue playing at an elite level, or do you have concerns about investing in a running back over 30? And how do you see this offense evolving with Henry and Lamar working together for another season? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get this discussion going. One thing is clear, Derrick Henry isn't just another short-term rental for Baltimore. He's a player who changes the entire dynamic of this offense, and his impact extends beyond just his rushing ability. His presence forces defenses to make impossible choices. Do they stack the box to stop Henry and risk leaving Lamar with open passing lanes? Or do they drop back to contain Lamar's arm and let Henry bulldoze through lighter defensive fronts? That kind of stress on a defense is what separates great teams from championship contenders. And let's not forget what this means for the Ravens locker room. Henry isn't just a superstar, he's a leader. He brings a mentality of toughness, discipline, and an unwavering desire to win. That's exactly what this team needs after a gut-wrenching playoff loss to Buffalo. Losing that game in such a heartbreaking fashion, with missed opportunities and critical mistakes, left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. But keeping Henry long-term signals that this front office is serious about maintaining a championship-caliber roster. Let's talk strategy. The Ravens front office, led by Eric DeCosta, has some big decisions to make. The team has key free agents to consider, cap space to manage, and a roster that's on the brink of something special. A Henry extension isn't just about locking up an elite running back. It's about financial flexibility. Right now, the Ravens have limited cap space, and reworking Henry's deal could give them room to make other moves. Maybe it means securing another offensive lineman to protect Lamar. Maybe it opens up the possibility of bringing in another receiving weapon to keep this passing game evolving. And then there's the question of workload. Some fans might worry that giving Henry too many carries could wear him down, but the Ravens are in a unique position. With Lamar's ability to take off and gain yards himself, Henry doesn't have to carry the ball 30 times a game to be effective. Even with a slightly reduced workload, he's still an absolute force, and that balance could be the key to extending his career even further. Look at what Henry accomplished in 2024. He was the oldest back in history to put up those numbers. He had more explosive runs than the entire Ravens backfield did in 2023, and he did it in a system that was still adjusting to having him in the mix. Imagine what happens with another full offseason to build chemistry with Lamar and the offensive line. This offense isn't just dangerous, it has the potential to be downright unstoppable. So now it's your turn. Ravens fans, how do you feel about this? Do you think Henry deserves a multi-year extension? Should the Ravens prioritize keeping him over other potential free agent moves? And do you believe this offense is set up to dominate the AFC in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get this debate going.